In a big green forest, where the trees whispered secrets to the wind and the flowers danced in the sunlight, lived 3 very special friends. Their names were Leo the lion, Squeaky the mouse, and Barnaby the bear. Now, you might think a lion, a mouse, and a bear are a strange group of friends, and you would be right. But their friendship was the strongest in the whole forest. Leo the lion was not like other lions. He had a big, fluffy mane the color of sunshine, and a roar that sounded more like a happy rumble than a scary growl. He loved to nap in sunny patches and tell jokes that made the little squirrels giggle. Squeaky the mouse was tiny, with soft gray fur and whiskers that twitched with curiosity. He was small, but his heart was very, very big. He could see details that others missed, like the tiniest ladybug on a leaf, or the most beautiful pebble in the stream. And then there was Barnaby the bear. Barnaby was huge and gentle, with fur as dark as the night sky. He was the wisest of the 3. He knew all the forest's secrets, like where the sweetest berries grew and which streams sang the prettiest songs. He gave the best, warmest hugs in the world. Every morning, the 3 friends would meet under the great oak tree. "Good morning," Leo would rumble, stretching his big paws. "Good morning," Squeaky would chirp from his perch on a low branch. "A fine morning indeed," Barnaby would say with a calm smile, leaning against the sturdy trunk. One day, as they were sharing a breakfast of berries Barnaby had found, Squeaky noticed something strange. "Look," he squeaked, pointing his little nose towards the edge of the forest. "The river is getting bigger." Leo and Barnaby looked. Squeaky was right. The friendly little stream they knew was growing into a wide, fast-moving river. The rain from the mountains had been falling for days, and now the water was rising quickly, gobbling up the riverbanks. "Oh dear," rumbled Leo, his happy mood turning to worry. "If it keeps rising, it will flood the lower part of the forest. All the little creatures who live by the river will lose their homes." Barnaby nodded gravely. "We must do something to help our neighbors." So, the 3 best friends set off to warn everyone. Leo, with his big voice, let out a loud but gentle roar. It wasn't a scary roar, but a "listen up, everyone" roar. Animals poked their heads out of their burrows and nests. "The river is rising," Leo announced. "You must move to higher ground." While Leo spread the word, Squeaky used his small size to his advantage. He scurried through the tall grass and under bushes, reaching places the bigger animals couldn't. He found a family of rabbits huddled in their burrow, water already seeping in. "Quickly, follow me," he chirped. "I know a safe path up the hill." He led them through a secret tunnel only a mouse would know, to a dry, cozy spot. Meanwhile, Barnaby the bear used his incredible strength. A family of hedgehogs was trapped on a small patch of land that was quickly becoming an island. The water was too fast for them to cross. Without a word, Barnaby waded into the churning water, his big body steady against the current. He gently lowered a huge fallen log, creating a perfect bridge for the hedgehog family to scurry across to safety. He did this again and again, helping families of badgers and foxes cross the dangerous water. As the sun began to set, the water was still rising. The 3 friends were tired, but they knew their work wasn't done. They saw a mother deer and her little fawn trapped on a rock in the middle of the raging river. The fawn was shivering with cold and fear. "I'm not strong enough to get them," said Barnaby sadly. The water was too deep and fast even for him. "I'm too big to get close without scaring them," rumbled Leo, his ears drooping. "And I'm too small to lead them across that big water," squeaked Squeaky, feeling helpless. For a moment, they all stood there, unsure what to do. Then, Squeaky's whiskers twitched. He had an idea. "I know," he chirped. "We can work together. Leo, you have the loudest roar. Can you roar at that old, weak tree on the other side of the river? Maybe you can make it fall and create a bridge." Leo looked. It was a long shot, but it was their only chance. He took a deep, deep breath puffed out his chest and let out the biggest, most powerful roar of his life. Roar! The sound echoed through the forest. The old tree shivered and shook, and with a loud crack, it fell right across the river, landing just a few feet from the deer and her fawn. It was a perfect bridge, but the mother deer was still too frightened to move. She's scared of the log, Barnaby said softly. It's wobbly. I can help with that, said Barnaby. He waded as far as he could into the river and held the end of the log bridge with his big, strong paws, making it steady. It's safe now, he called out. The mother deer still hesitated. The fawn was too scared to take the first step. Squeaky knew what to do. I'll show them it's safe, he said bravely. He scurried onto the log bridge. He ran across to the other side and then ran back, squeaking cheerfully. See? It's easy and fun, like a seesaw. Seeing the tiny mouse run back and forth so bravely gave the mother deer courage. She carefully nudged her fawn, and together they stepped onto the log bridge. With Barnaby holding it steady and Leo watching over them, they walked safely to the other side. By the time the last ray of sun disappeared, every animal was safe on high ground. The three friends gathered together, wet and exhausted, but their hearts were full. They had saved their friends. Leo looked at his two companions. I could never have done that alone, he said, his voice a soft rumble. My roar was loud, but it took Squeaky's clever idea to know what to do with it. Squeaky smiled up at the big lion. And your idea was no good without Barnaby's strength to hold the bridge steady. Barnaby put a gentle paw on each of his friends' shoulders. And none of us would have given the deer the courage to cross without Squeaky's bravery to show them the way. They realized something very important that night. Leo's loudness, Squeaky's smallness, and Barnaby's size were not just things that made them different. They were their special gifts. And when they used their gifts together, they could do anything. From that day on, the friendship between Leo the lion, Squeaky the mouse, and Barnaby the bear became a legend in the forest. It was a story told to all the little animals at bedtime. A story about how it doesn't matter if you are big or small, loud or quiet. Everyone has a special gift, and when we work together and help each other, we can overcome any storm. And so, as the moon rose high above the whispering trees, the three best friends in the whole world curled up together under the great oak tree and drifted off to sleep, dreaming of their next adventure. Thank you so much for listening to our story tonight. We hope you have the sweetest dreams. Remember to be kind to your friends, and don't forget to follow our channel for more bedtime adventures. Good night.